Well, one of our new events now, and again, if this is anything like the Diamond Jubilee, in 10 years' time, we'll be looking back saying what a great year it was for junior women's eights. We've got Lady Eleanor Holles on the right-hand side of your picture on the Buck Station, and Shrewsbury School on the left-hand side of your picture on the Berkshire Station. And Catherine, it is delightful, you know, to see these crews in this event. As somebody who you learnt to row in an 8, right, at Edinburgh, great to see people who are picking up the sport in these junior women's events racing here at the Regatta.
Yeah, I learnt to row in an 8 at university level, so to see these girls even much younger than even I first ever picked up an oar, and they just look the part, don't they? They're so well drilled, so well timed. They've got, again, you know, 2 incredibly good schools with incredibly great history in this sport. Just coming here and you know, blazing a trail for young women racing down this Henley course, but looking as if they've never been anywhere else. They absolutely belong.
They look totally in place. Yeah, I was thinking this when I was watching the regatta earlier on in the week. They came past me, the first rounds of these junior women's eights, and I just thought they looked so at home. Why have we not had this before? It's amazing. And Lady Eleanor Holles are currently 3 seats up on Shrewsbury School, who again had a really dominant performance in their race earlier in the week, and yeah, holding the National Schools Champions to only a 3-seat lead.
Yeah, looking forward to this. Lady Eleanor Holles came out fast and really kind of jumped out at the start and got a nice, comfortable lead. You know, there was always that feeling they're going to see them just move away constantly, but actually, fair play to Shrewsbury, they have not let them slip away, and if anything, are pulling back on them slightly.
Yeah, I think they are pulling back. If you look at the bow ball of the yellow boats, that little bit on the white bit on the end, if you look at where that's lining up with the crew on the near side, it is creeping back. If you're tuning into rowing for the first time, you can see that the crew on the right is gaining. Shrewsbury's gaining on Lady Eleanor Holles.
And again, going back to that, you know, going inside their minds, that mental side. If you have got a crew that's jumped on you in the start, that's moved away from you, when you start to pull it back in, that's when you start to feel this is working. Now look, the crews are coming a little bit close together, which is again dramatic to watch, not comfortable for any of the coaches watching on there, but they haven't been warned yet, but they've moved away again. Yeah,
Rich Phelps with flag in hand, ready again, and he's been kept busy this morning. But yeah, the Shrewsbury School cocks, I'm sure, driving them to eat away that deficit. Natalia Toms in the driving seat with the steering cables and the microphone to tell her crew what to do, will be pushing them on to try and claw back the lead that Lady Eleanor Holles has gained. But a really interesting fact about Natalia, actually, her brother is coxing the Shrewsbury boys' first 8.
It's wonderful, isn't it? We often see siblings as athletes in the boat, you know, rowing together, competing together, sculling together. It's wonderful to see sibling coxes as well. You know, we don't see as many coxes as we used to. There's less boats that are coxed, but to see 2 coxes from the same family both competing at Henley is brilliant.
Now, this could be a real upset here, Catherine. And Lady Eleanor Holles, like we say, they were the National Schools Champions in this event. So that is the best title you can get as a schoolgirl rower in this event. They've got that trophy. They're looking to come here to Henley Royal Regatta and win the inaugural event here. But Shrewsbury, who have really not been in this combination long, you know, this boat is comprised of their quad and their 4 that have come together very, very recently, are putting them under pressure. And I think, in fact, now leading.
I mean, both crew, this is again a bit like we've just been discussing with the men's singles race we watched, was when it gets suddenly, you know, bow ball to bow ball, we talk about that almost every stroke could mean a different leader. We don't always see it this close racing in 8s, and it's brilliant to see. Once again, a little bit of warning for steering from Shrewsbury. What they need to make sure is that steering, the cocks will need to adjust that doesn't bring any tension, any tightness, because often what happens is when the crew has to steer, then there's a little bit of tightness comes in, but it doesn't look like they're worrying about that right now.
Yeah, and the coxes that, you know, that don't try anything clever with the streams and trying to second guess where the best water is, dead straight line down the course. You know, that's what's going to keep these athletes calm. It's going to keep them ensuring that they know they're in safe hands and that they're not going to clash with the crew next time when the race is this tight. My word, what a race here in this new Junior Women's 8s event. The National Schools Champions going up against, well, the new crew from Shrewsbury School, who has come up here to upset the apple cart. It was 3 seats. We're now down to 1, Catherine.
I know, and if anyone was concerned about why we bring this event into Henley Royal Regatta, then this is why we bring it in, because we see some of the best young women in the country putting on the most dramatic display of racing. And you know, I think Lady Eleanor Holles there has just responded. They're not going to want to be thrown out of the regatta on a Friday. They've come here to do much more damage, but Shrewsbury is making it incredibly tough for them and is going to push them, I would hope, all the way.
Indeed, and they've got their Lady Eleanor Holles. They've got their incoming captain, Miss Fatani, in the stroke seat to drive them down the course, and she's setting the pace there, leading the rhythm. She's at the front of the boat. You can see her there looking towards us, and as incoming captain, I'm sure will be wanting to set a precedent for her year incoming. But they're going to have to do something again. I think Shrewsbury coming back. They're staying calm. This is very mature racing here.
This really is, and again, a lot goes back to the cops keeping those cool heads. You know, when it feels like this, you are so close to your opposition, and every stroke is drawing level, then actually just keeping them very focused on the job they have to do. The cops will call them in, what tactics they want, what technique they want, and this is going to come in through the closures, and it is going to be all to play for.
Well, certainly going to be keeping the progress board busy as they come in towards the line, because the lead has just about been with Lady Eleanor Holles down this course, but Shrewsbury has done everything they can to try and snatch that away from them. And as I look up the course, they're just approaching the 1.8 mile signal, and I think actually Shrewsbury just looking a little bit more relaxed here, Catherine. I don't know, Lady Eleanor Holles on paper, the stronger crew, perhaps the more drilled crew. They've been together a lot longer, but Shrewsbury just looks so loose and long.
They do. Certainly the bodies of the Shrewsbury look really nice. I love the way they're rowing together. The blade work is getting a little bit ragged. Now let's not forget the wind is picking up. It's a headwind, and it means it's going to be a long, tiring race for both crews. They just need to keep it clean as they come in the last bit. You just see from Shrewsbury a little bit bouncing side to side on the water there.
Yeah, I think LEH just holding their blades into the finish a little bit more, which is what we were saying yesterday actually when we had quite a big headwind. You got to keep long, you got to hold the blades in at the finish to not wash out into the headwind, and I think Shrewsbury just losing that a little bit as the pressure piles on, because they know there's a space in the weekend on the line and they're starting to come through.
This is exactly what we want from both crews. It's going to come down to that sprint finish. It's all to play for, and the crowd is going ecstatic next to them. This is the kind of racing people love to come and see.
Well, this has been one of the best races of this inaugural event, the Junior Women's 8. It's going to come down to the line. I think the speed lies